I did a lot of clips, but look at this shit. This is in New Jersey. Can somebody explain to me what the fuck this is? I saw the drones that everybody's talking about somewhere else, but I couldn't stop the car to take a video because I was on the road and there was trucks. And there's nowhere to stop. But look at this. Can somebody tell me what the fuck this is? This is in Jersey. I'm in Jersey. I just finished working. Look at this shit. You tell me those are drones moving in that pattern and so fast. You're gonna see how they move so fast, and then they've been moving because they were all the way somewhere else where I was driving, and they're moving. It's not like they're staying in one spot. And sometimes they create two rings. Look at that. What the fuck is that? Can somebody explain to me what the fuck that is? Anyone?
All right, Shalom. Let me get straight into this lesson. But you saw that, you know what I'm saying? The chariots are always watching over us. They're always monitoring the earth, and there's some supernatural thing. And there's something that the world don't know what they are. They think little short green men with big heads and big eyes. You know what I'm saying? That's why they call them aliens, and they programmed people to see that visual in their mind. You know what I'm saying? But the chariots, it's great to go to the next level. I was looking at some of Donald Trump, Nero executive orders, and this is just going down right now, and it's going to intensify, right? But you know, we getting close to the end. You got to endure. You got to grind inside. It's a grind. You know, a lot of brothers lose patience and they lose stamina, right? They end up going back into the world because they didn't have they you know ultimately they wasn't of their elect. So what does supernatural mean? You know what I'm saying? And that's when your carnality of your mind, right, is something that the people in the world can't comprehend. That's why we can tap into the spiritual understanding, right? Supernatural, right here at the top. It says of a manifestation or event attributed to some force beyond scientific understanding of the laws of nature, right? So I want to read that again. That's so heavy because the people on earth that's not privileged to the truth, they start yelling out stupid stuff, you know what I'm saying? And they just be perplexed or confused of what's going on. It says of a manifestation or event attributed to some force beyond scientific understanding or the laws of nature. So what you saw that was wild, that was a chariot, a wheel within a wheel spinning, as they have been described in the Bible. And, you know, when you start seeing this heavy activity of chariots, right, it's something coming down the pipe, right? And that's why the scripture, this Jeremiah chapter 10, that be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, because the signs of heaven is letting us know heaven mean the sky, right? That we close. Let's go here. So people wonder what they are. They're confused. They perplexed. They don't know what's going on. Let's go here. Salakia. In Psalms, the book of Psalms 68 and 17, it says the chariots of God, which his true name is Yahweh, and the son name is Yahweh Shai. The chariots of God are 20,000, even thousands of angels. So what you see in the same breath is chariots and angels. What is that telling you? That angels ride in these so-called chariots, these space vehicles. That's what in the book of Ezekiel chapter 1, that's where Yahweh Shah was beamed up on a cloud, which means a so-called UFO in today's terminology. And another thing you have to understand, that the prophets back then would use the terminology, the things that they knew of at their time to explain what they were seeing. We didn't have the terminology of a UFO, so that term would not be in the Bible. They'll call it a chariot or a cloud or clouds or chariots, right? It says the chariots of God are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them as in Sinai, the holy place, in the holy place. So let's go to this word chariot. I'm gonna show you something. So back then the prophets knew, like, they would use a chariot to explain something that travels, move from one point to another point with wheels on it, right? Like you got the modern day vehicle, the car. What does the word chariot mean? Right, so you get understanding. It says a two-wheel horse-drawn vehicle. I want you to remember that word vehicle because it's there for a reason. Used in ancient warfare and racing, right? It had other um right here. So the origin of the word goes back into Latin, which means wheeled vehicle. Wheeled vehicle. And that's no coincidence. That's what you call a car. So the angels got a vehicle that they travel in. They call chariots. Like you would call your vehicle, whatever make and model it is, right? Like if you got a Ford Ranger or whatever, that's your vehicle, right? So let's go here. So we know, let's go to this word vehicle. So we know the chariot was known for transportation, right? Vehicle. It says vehicle right here at the top. A thing used for transporting people or goods. So the angels ride in those chariots. And they come in all different shapes, forms, fashion. They can disappear, reappear. They can go into portals, coming out of portals. They can go under water. They can go 10,000 miles per hour and come to a complete stop and reverse and go the opposite direction at 10,000 miles per hour. Many more things they can do we can't comprehend. It says especially they can cloak themselves too. Meant to say that they can disguise themselves as, different things, airplanes, clouds, um, all kind of stuff. I'm gonna get into another video. It says the thing for using Slakia, a thing used for transporting people or goods, especially on land, such as a car, truck, or cart. But you get it, it's like it's a means of transportation. Just like you have a vehicle you travel in, angels travel in their spiritual vehicles called chariots. Let's go here. And this stuff is above the understanding of a Christian or just anybody outside of this truth. Their mind can't grasp that concept, right? 2 Kings 2:12. It says, and Elisha saw it and he cried. You can read up on this whole chapter so you can know the context. My father, Abba, Abba, the chariot of Israel and the horsemen thereof. Right. So this would be symbolic towards the might and the warlike apparel and demeanor of the some angels. Right. Because remember, the chariot was used for warfare. It says the chariot of Israel and the horsemen thereof, which would be the angels. And he saw him no more. And he took hold of his clothes and rended them into pieces. Let's go here. 11. Let's jump back. All right. So a horseman, the terminology would use. Let me show you what that means. On the chariot, right, you will have somebody that's operating that chariot known as a horseman. Matter of fact, let me go into that terminology. 1 second. Salakia. So that's why you got to go into the ancient terminology of words and going back into the Greek and Hebrew horsemen. That's what you saw in that 2 Kings chapter 2:12. It said a horseman of a chariot refers to a person who drives a chariot. Essentially, the charioteer, as the chariot is pulled by horses. So going back here, there will be the angels. All right, read this again. 2 Kings, and I showed you a visual of this right here, as you can see. So the prophets used ancient terminology to describe what they were seeing. Yet he wasn't seeing a damn horse, and like a literal horse and chariot. This was a code for a so-called UFO, right? And it came to pass as they went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire, and parted them both asunder. And Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. So he got beamed up on the so-called UFO. So you can understand in the sky. That the word heaven can mean the sky as well. That's what people don't know. Because Jake, when they see the word heaven, they just think about it in spiritual realm. No, heaven means the sky. That's really one of the words, main things it means. So go to 12. So, and Elisha saw it and he cried, my father, Abba, Abba, the chariot of Israel, right? And the horsemen thereof. And he saw him no more. And he took hold of his clothes and rent them into pieces, in two pieces, Salakia. Let's go here. Matter of fact, I'm going to get into this other video. Give me 1 second. All right, now I want to make this point as well. Why the prophets would use the word chariot, right? Because we know it's a vehicle, right? But a chariot wheel is in a circular shape. And we know some of these so-called UFO chariots are in that circular shape, as I just showed you in this video. They come in different shapes and sizes, but that's a commonality from them to be in an oval shape. All right, so let me get into this video right here.
Flying over Antioquia captures something incredible. A triangular object hovering at 22,000 feet right outside the cockpit window. The footage is clear, controlled, and unexplained. But that's just the beginning. From the cockpit display we can confirm. Altitude, 22,000 feet. Speed, 319 knots. Heading, 075 degrees, northeast. This wasn't some shaky cell phone footage. It was caught mid-flight, and the object held its position effortlessly. I wanted to find the exact flight. Using ADSB data, I searched for an Airbus A320 that matched the key cockpit details, altitude, heading, and speed. Flying over Antioquia that day, while I couldn't pinpoint the exact flight, I found one with nearly identical characteristics. It's not a perfect match, but it gives us context for what was happening in the skies when this was recorded. And here's the thing, Antioquia is no stranger to UFO sightings. A few years ago, another Colombian pilot, flying at 12,500 feet, recorded a similar object passing by his aircraft. And just days...
Boom, you see that? So what our people got to stop doing, and if you doing this, you got to stop going with these controlled narratives that you get in the news, because they're not gonna never tell you that these are supernatural entities that they don't have no control over. They're not gonna never tell you that. It's not in the Edomites' nature to do that. They're gonna tell you propaganda, and they're gonna tell you lies through the media to keep you in the darkness. So if you're looking for them, the media, to ever tell you the truth about what these are, you kidding yourself. They even asked Donald Trump again. He came up with some lie. He said he's gonna reveal everything, but he came up with some lie. That they, said it was from the United States government. That's not true. And the so-called white man wants to control the narrative on everything, and that's how he control your mind, because our people they put a lot of stock into the news as being the truth, which most of the news is propaganda. You do have some stories in there that's legitimate, but most of it is propaganda to keep you in a confused, wandering state of mind. And they give you talking points they want you to talk about all day, and you repeat it because you don't know better. But yes, the angels are here. They've been here. This ain't nothing new, and it's gonna intensify. And you're gonna see more stranger things happen. So hopefully this has been edifying. Call Allah, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakat Kodash. Shalom.